How you doing? Good. Is there a clicker for this? I have to stand by the computer the whole time? Okay, that's not going to be great, but okay, guys, I'm not going to be mobile. I'm going to sit and touch the screen. I'll be right here. No, it's okay. I got to go back and forth and reference it. How's everyone doing? Awesome. Good. How many of you guys have seen Kitchen Crashers? Yay! Thank you. Did anyone see the new show? Anybody catch Windy City Flip? You did? Yay! Yeah, so we got picked up for season 1. Super excited. Obviously not focusing on just the kitchen anymore, but we're doing the whole house. So start to finish, a lot of emphasis will be obviously on the kitchen because that's the main part of the house. And, you know, when we flip homes, it's kind of the big before and after, so I'm still sticking in that space. So it's fun to be here and to talk to you guys and be at these home shows. And, you know, you guys get so many ideas from the show, but then you get so many ideas from these home shows too, right? All the new products, everything, you know, everything that you could touch and feel and see and incorporate into your spaces. And so Kitchen Crashers for me was an awesome kind of platform. I never ever thought I was going to get into TV. It was not a plan for me. I just kind of got really lucky and said yes to something that a lot of people would say no to, which was to be a ghost designer. So ghost designer on HGTV means you do all the work and you don't go on TV and no one knows you did it and they pay you in peanuts and blah, blah, blah. Either way, I said yes, and it led me to here right now. So 117 episodes of Kitchen Crashers, 117 kitchens, and we did it all in about six and a half years. So it was pretty fast. We were doing one like every other week, but I've learned so much of what not to do. So it's just turned me, I mean, after 117, now I can call myself an expert, I think. And I've seen it all. So the show's very interesting. You guys have you been watching Yard Crashers and Bath Crashers? So you get that it's pretty fast-paced, right? It's not as fast-paced as you would think. So from the time I meet people at Lowe's to the time I go home with them is about a month and a half, 2 months sometimes. So these aren't fast turnarounds, right? We've got to design them and work with each client, and you know, they're not cheap either. How much do you guys think we spend on each kitchen? I wish that would be so cheap if I could do that. Anybody else? $70,000. You're closer. $100,000 is what we spend. So these people are not getting cheap kitchens, right? This stuff isn't falling off the walls. So I went to Lowe's with all these cameras, scaring the crap out of people, asking you guys if your kitchens were bad. I love it. Just a plunger in a bag. Just a plunger in a bag. You're ready. I love it. They're giving out good stuff. So I would go, and I'd go to Lowe's, and I would ask you guys, do you guys need a new kitchen? Every one of you would tell me, yes, like we need a crash. And I would believe every single one of you. And I didn't know what I would do with the space, but I knew that if we did a show around it, it would take me 4 hours to clean it. I'd probably make fun of them for a little bit, and then that would be the episode. So we said, no, we're so sorry, because if I clean this kitchen out, is that crashable? Clean it out in your brains. Is that a crashable kitchen? No. Cabinets go all the way to the ceiling. You've got tons of storage, big center island. I mean, it's a good kitchen. But because something that's going to be durable. So, you know, your cabinets aren't things you just rip out and put new ones in. But all of us really want more organization in our lives. So what I did when I crashed my own kitchen was I put in all lower pull-out drawers. Okay, big pull-out drawers, full extension. You know where everything is. Everything has a home. It really allows you to clean out your cabinets and organize and put everything in its place. So many times when I would go out and crash the kitchen, we'd get in, demo day, and I'd be cleaning out their cabinets, and I'm like, do you guys want to keep this? And they're like, oh, that's where it is, or, you know, that's where the cat is, or whatever's lost in there. But it was funny because like, you don't know what you have. It's all shoved back in your cabinet. Your local cabinet companies, having them come measure, see how much that's going to cost. Because to have the look of the doors and function of drawers it's going to change your world, I promise you. And it's going to allow you to do the cleaning that you need in that kitchen. Instead of, you know, everyone talks about spring cleaning, your closet, whatever. No, you need to clean your kitchen, right? So, had some cluttered stuff here. This is an example of some of the stuff we do and that you can just buy, but there's the drawer example right here, right? The bins. So you just put stuff in there. It doesn't fit completely. You see you've got some dead space, but you can use that dead space. But super easy and simple to do. You can go to... Why am I doing that? Because it's a porous material, right? It's so porous. Marble especially. Marble, soapstone, right? These are natural materials. When we have natural materials, we have to maintain them. So when it comes to granite, and some of these manufactured, well, we'll get to the manufacturer, but granites, right? Different levels of granites require different maintenance. So some granite might, need to be sealed maybe once a year and sometimes twice a year, and also depending on how often you're using that space, right? When marble comes into play and there's a stain on marble, it etches. You guys know what that means? It eats into the stone and creates a different texture, and it etches it. So you can't just seal it to fix it. You have to completely resurface it. So you're sanding this stuff down, grinding it down, and now you've got a huge expense. So what I always tell people is whether you have granite or marble, think about what you're spending every year in maintenance, and then think about that when you're buying new material. Because some of the new material that you'll see here at the show and all over, if you just go to countertop showrooms, is manufactured stones. Anybody have that? Looks like marble, but isn't. Quartz. Yeah, quartz is a natural material. Yeah, but so some of these manufactured stones are meant to look just like granite or marble, but there's no maintenance. You can literally spill wine, let it sit for days, and nothing's happening. All right? On marble or soapstone, if you put water down, that can even etch. So you want to be careful with what you're selecting. It's not cheap, but think about, again, what you would spend over time on these natural materials and maybe spend a tiny bit more up front to get these manufactured stones where you have zero maintenance. You could put a hot pot right down on there and you don't have to worry about it. All right. Let's move on to, so feng shui. Anybody know it? Positive energy. It's all about energy and light and placement of everything. I loved feng shui. I studied it in college, and then right out of college I started working for a home builder in Las Vegas. And we were building custom homes. I was building one home in particular for clients that were coming in from Hong Kong. And they wanted to figure out where their front door was going to be placed. Okay, so it was a dirt lot in the middle of the desert, in the middle of the summer in Vegas, 120 degrees. And they brought their compass. It was like a big compass, and I thought it was a joke. But anyway, we get out there, and 3 hours later, we figured out where the door was going to go. I was burnt, I was sweating, and that was the day I started to hate feng shui. So I'm not into it, but what I am into is space planning, okay? Space planning is key, and especially in the kitchen. So how many of you anyone know what the perfect triangle is? Yes, sir? What is it? There you go. The stove, the sink, and the fridge. The stove, the sink, and the fridge. Triangle, right? That's the perfect triangle. If you don't have that, I can guarantee you're probably not that happy in the kitchen. You got to make sure that you have that, because space planning is no joke, right? It can change your entire room, and in the kitchen, the functionality is gone completely if you don't have that. So space planning is key. And after that comes lighting. And lighting is, in my opinion, with design, is the most important thing. In a kitchen, it's the second most important thing. And the reason I love lighting is because you can control it. And I'm a control freak, so I want to control everything. And it's easy to control your lighting with dimmers. And every one of us can put dimmers on anything in our home. Recessed cans, pendants. I've got a floor lamp on it. But we can dim everything. What dimming does is it allows us to change the mood in each space. So if we're in the kitchen and we're putting away groceries and we're prepping for dinner, all the lights are up, right? Got to see. Cleaning, same thing. All the lights are up. But when dinner time or entertaining time is happening, we dim it down. We create a different mood, right? In a kitchen especially, you've got ambient lighting, accent lighting, task lighting. And so we got to think about all of these. So the cans, those can be all three. Under cabinet lighting, anyone have that? Anybody install it themselves? Nice. Anybody electrocute themselves? There we go. There's always one. Your hair's curly now, huh? Well, it's funny if you guys seen the show. It's called DIY Disasters on DIY Network. It's at 30 minutes of you guys electrocuting yourselves. doing dumb stuff you shouldn't be doing. But dimmers, you don't need to be a licensed electrician. Under cabinet lighting, you don't either. If you're not hardwiring your under cabinet lighting, you don't need to hire an electrician. Okay? And some of us get scared of the hardwire word, right? Oh, now we got to hire someone. It's going to be more expensive. It's not. Find a great electrician if you really want to hardwire something. But with under cabinet lighting, it's super easy to do on your own. I did it in my kitchen. So the first thing that you need to do is go home and look at your upper cabinets. Okay? I want you to take a look at those upper cabinets and look. What's that? No, find an outlet, but you don't need an outlet for this one. What you're going to do is you're going to make sure you've got this little piece at the bottom of that cabinet, that upper cabinet. It's going to be called a light rail. It's a little trim piece of cabinetry. And what that allows you to do is put under cabinet lighting in so your eye doesn't go right towards that lighting. So if you're doing puck lights or strip lighting, whatever it is, you need to house it inside of something so it illuminates and so your eye doesn't go right to it. So make sure you've got that little strip mold. If you don't have it, install it or call a local cabinet company to come and price it out. And now what you can do is you can actually buy strip lighting on what looks like a roll of tape. I bought mine right off the internet from Amazon. It was 3M makes it. And it's literally like a roll of tape. You unstick it, you stick it underneath the cabinets, and then what I did was I drilled a hole in the side cabinets on the left and the right, and then I put the little battery pack and I stuck it to the wall with Velcro. I can dim it, I can change colors, okay, which you don't do, okay, white. Everything else, if you're doing red or purple, it's a little tacky, it's a little weird. But you could just keep it on a battery pack, and that's how you operate it. So you don't have to hardwire it. And under cabinet lighting is so important because it highlights our backsplash. And the backsplash is where we're supposed to have some fun, right? Bring in a color and personality, texture. It's like artwork. It's your artwork in your kitchen, and your art light is your under cabinet lighting. So it's also a really fun way to bring in, again, color that we're going to talk about soon, but texture and a way to split it up. And, if you replace your backsplash every couple years, that's not going to break the bank. It's a way for us to be creative and change up the look without ripping cabinets out or countertops. So backsplash is somewhere to have fun. All right, let's talk about color. So I love color because most of you aren't so great with it, which is why I have a job, so thank you. But I see it a lot. I walk into a lot of kitchens and I find myself to be just kind of offended with some of the colors going on and the way that they're being brought in. So I'm going to teach you the right way to bring in color. But before I do that, I want to ask you guys, how many of you like this kitchen? Anybody? Okay, how many of you know why McDonald's and Burger King use red and yellow in their marketing efforts? Makes you hungry. Happy too. Why not? Makes you hungry. I don't know about you guys, but every time I go in my kitchen, I don't want to be hungry. I spend a lot of time in there. So these people were like, we don't care, we love red and we love yellow, and we're going to paint the walls and bring in red furniture and some ugly red art. Awesome. So this one right here sometimes offends people, sometimes doesn't. But that's bringing color in on the walls and with artwork, right? How many of you guys like this kitchen? Now, you can't tell because the color stinks on here, but it's bright red. It's bright fire engine red. How many of you guys like that? Okay. So my least favorite color is red. And so if I were to walk into this kitchen, let's say I love the whole house, I was going to buy it, and I'm in the market. And I walked into this kitchen, I would run. I would run. These are high gloss, contemporary cabinets. I can't paint them. I have to rip them out. How much do you think it would cost to rip out those cabinets and replace them? You want to try it again? How much? 1,000? I wish. Maybe 10,000. Now, the reason I say that is because of the space plan here, the fact that it is kind of a contemporary home. But when you start ripping cabinets out, the countertops fall apart. Then the backsplash doesn't work. It's a real domino effect. So this would cost a ton of money if I had to replace it, right? Because everything's red. Well, what if in 10 years this person that lives in this house decides they don't like the red either? How much? It's going to cost them what? 30,000, right? What? It's going to cost a lot. 30 is what I go with because I've done it too many times. But 30,000 for new cabinets is a safe bet for this house. No, you can't. Well, you can't reface cabinets like this. It's a